Stephen, is it a case of getting a reaction from your players going into this one?
100%, that's what I'm looking for, individually and collectively. Very disappointing result for us the other night. Performance was very strong for 20 minutes, and then after the mistake we made, it was nowhere near the level that I expect. So yes, that's what I've asked the players for since the last defeat, and hopefully they can put that into practice at the weekend.
What sort of reaction did you get in training today, and has there been anything specific you've been working on?
Training was quite split today in terms of the starters from Kilmarnock were on more of a second day, so they were doing a very light session, which they were all fine. No injuries from the last game, and then the lads that needed more of a top-up trained very well. It was the intensity and the quality that I was looking for. So yeah, satisfied with today's session.
As a manager, is there a sense of frustration knowing how good you can be, like that Celtic game, and then what happened in the latter stages at Kilmarnock?
Yes, there's definitely a frustration, but you know, obviously each game's different, each scenario is different. You know, an Old Firm game at home is completely different from going to Kilmarnock on a different surface against a different challenge, if you like. So I'm not naive enough to think that just because we've beat Celtic and performed at a very high level, I'm going to get that every single game. But we do certainly need to improve in terms of being more consistent.
In terms of away form though as well, is that something that, does it still concern you? I know there's other teams that haven't been as convincing away from home this season, but do you feel that you still have to improve on the road?
Yeah, but you know, I still look at our home form as well, and we've had a couple of bumps, so we're always trying to improve both home and away. It's more the finding the consistency that's the most important thing. I've got confidence in the team that we're capable of going anywhere and getting the right result, but the players have to go and prove themselves. What is important is that we react from the Kilmarnock thing and get back to winning ways and go and put in a good performance.
Do you think there's a mindset in the team that maybe you need to deal with at times as well? I know you came into the game against Kilmarnock after the winter break, but it was after taking all the plaudits for the game against Celtic that happened a couple of times before in the season when you've gone top of the league and then maybe the next game hasn't gone the way.
I think if there was alarming things that came out against Kilmarnock, if there was alarming things that concern me in terms of the mindset, then yes, but we started the game very well. We played some really good stuff, took the lead, got ourselves into a really good place. We gifted Kilmarnock 2 goals and gifted them the points. I'm not sure that's totally down to just mindset. No, I wouldn't say that.
Do you have to put an arm around Joe after a difficult evening for him and try and sort of protect him and sort of build him back up again?
No, I don't think Joe's that insecure where he's going to need a cuddle or an arm round from me. He's a big boy, you know. People make mistakes. He's human. I'm more interested in his reaction and you know, what he's going to give in terms of performance moving forward. That's the key. We all make mistakes. It's that's the game. It's how you react from them.
In terms of Livingston, you had a difficult afternoon at their place last time, and what lessons did you learn from?
Well, we didn't perform. We didn't perform well enough in a lot of departments. It was a game that we spoke about in a lot of detail after the game, and the reaction from that game was very good. So we have to learn our lessons from Livingston, that you can't just go to Livingston and expect to win. You've got to go and earn the right. They're a good team, they're organised, very difficult to beat, physical and you know, quite direct. So it's another challenge for the team. But I'm confident if we react in the right way from Kilmarnock, we'll find a performance that is good enough.
You have to try and get the guys to get in their heads that the sort of intensity that they played with in the Old Firm game, that has to be the sort of the base level for every game. They can bring it out of themselves, even if the atmosphere and the occasion isn't quite the same.
Yeah, I think they know that. I think they're a good group. They're a bright set of lads. I think they understand that, you know, the standard we're looking for is the performance we got at the Old Firm. But what you have to understand is each challenge is different. You know, some teams don't allow you to do that, and you know, different places in the league create different challenges and problems for you. So we just need to take each game as it comes and make sure that we're ready for the challenge of Livingston at the weekend.
Do you expect the minutes that Stephen and Jermaine got in them will be of benefit to them this weekend today?
I'm sure it will. They haven't played much football of late. You know, I've said on a couple of occasions I'll have to manage them in terms of their game time. You know, and they're here for the next 6 months, not the next 6 games. So that's down to me to manage and make sure I use them in the right way. But you know, what is a fact is that you know, the recovery takes a little bit longer after you've put in a shift on a plastic pitch. So not just with them two, with everyone, that is on my mind at the moment.
Stephen, when you're going back to a venue again, this sort of repetitive nature of Scottish football now, how do you see it when you go back to Livingston for a second time? Different challenges or the same challenges? Or is it...
I think it'll be pretty similar. You know, we think tactically and their game plan will be pretty similar because they got a successful result out of us last time. So it's down to us to maybe find a different way to try and play at a better level. And hopefully the game plan that we have will be more successful than it was last time.
For you not having that experience in terms of your playing career, it's usually you play teams in the league twice in a season. How do you find that, or how are you finding the playing each other 4 times and again coming up against these teams regularly?
I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. I knew the situation when I come in that there was only 12 teams, and it is quite strange in terms of, you know, the fixtures that you play some teams away twice and once before the split at the end. But it is what it is. I'm told it comes out of a computer, and you know, we just have to accept that and get on with it.
Has Wednesday given you any further thought on the system? Obviously with 2 up top against Kilmarnock, played different systems throughout the season. Has that given you any more?
We'll play different systems as we go along. I'll play a system that I think can go and get a positive result. I think the system that we chose at Kilmarnock was doing really well before we gifted them the chance to get back into the game. We also, for the final stages of that game, used a completely different formation that couldn't get us an equaliser. So you can talk about tactics and formations for as long as you want. The reality is it's my job to pick a game plan and a system that I think will work, but what I will say is that won't be the same every single game.
How's Connor?
He won't be ready for Livingston.
Sorry, any other teams?
No fresh injury problems from Kilmarnock, so squad's reasonably healthy at the moment. Nothing else to report.
Just wondering, during that game against Kilmarnock, the man sat next to you, there's a challenge by him in Brophy. Have you had another look at that, and if so, have you had any thoughts at all on that?
Yes, I've seen it, but there's nothing we can do to change the decision, what happened on there. But if you're asking me, do I think there should have been a card involved, then my answer is yes.
In terms of bringing Andy in today, what can you tell us about him and Andy Firth and his role as a goalkeeper, another addition? What can you tell us about?
Well, we've just allowed Andy Dallas and Robbie McCrory to join Morton on loan for experience and their development, which I think is very important. It's very difficult to keep Robbie here if he's desperate to play football matches. So we had to be fair to him and respectful, so we'll go and get 6 months experience of playing for important points and in front of crowds, which will be good for him. So Andy will come in and replace Robbie in that department.
That obviously gives you 3 goalkeepers, Marinovic on trial still, I believe. Does that affect your pursuit of him at all?
Andy coming in doesn't affect that at all, not really. No, Stefan's one we're having a look at the moment. And we'll make a decision pretty soon, but we haven't come to that just yet.
Is 3 goalkeepers probably your ideal number going forward? Or?
I think the board would say that, yeah. I think the board would say that.
Are you still looking to bring others in before deadline day?
No, we've just been granted a work permit this morning for Matt Polster, so he'll go and visit France now to have that signed off. So hopefully, once the paperwork's sorted on that, he'll be added to the squad in the coming days.
Ryan, how do you sort of reflect back on Wednesday night's game?
Disappointing, of course. I think we had the day off yesterday, and it was a chance for us just to maybe chill out and maybe reflect on the game. And we came in today and we've spoke about it. The lads have spoke about it, and just saying all the same things. Coming into Sunday, we want to show reaction.
How frustrating was it, given sort of euphoria, the sort of buzz that was generated by the Old Firm game, and not to be able to sort of continue that one.
Yeah, of course it's frustrating, but as the manager said, every game's different, every challenge is going to be different. But at the same time, it's just we just want to work hard. We want to go into Sunday, show reaction, and we get the 3 points on Sunday, and then that'll help us along the way to obviously important games coming up.
James Tavernier said after the game the other night that he felt that the team couldn't afford to drop any more points if they wanted to maintain a title challenge. I mean, does that just show you the sort of fine lines that are involved at this level, that if you want to be making challenges you can't afford like single slip-ups? Yeah,
of course. I think spoke with a few of the boys this morning. We were saying we don't know when the last time we went on an actual winning streak and really put a consistent run together. So I think we all realise that, and going into Sunday we just want to use that as a start to obviously hopefully going on that winning streak and really changing the result, because obviously we're disappointed and there's frustration after the game, but I think you've got to just use that as motivation to go forward.